10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, and welcome everybody. Happy Friday. We're on episode 40 of Stadium Connect North, and I've got the King of England. He's agreed. The Flame Broil King of England has agreed to come back today. The one, the only Vivi. Hello, Vivi. How are you doing?
Hi. I am doing very well, and very appropriate for the Flame Broiled King to be here on Queen Day, hey?
That's right, yeah. So in Canada here, we're kicking off the long weekend. It's Queen Victoria weekend, May 2-4 weekend. Regardless, it's an extra day off. We get Monday off, and there's going to be fireworks to help celebrate Queen Victoria's birthday. And we're here to chat about Stadia and the latest news, what's been going on this week. And there's been quite a few announcements this week, so it's been extra juicy indeed. So I'm really looking forward to sharing the news and hearing your opinion on some of these things, Vivi. It's always quite interesting.
Yeah, it's been a good one actually this week. Like, we've had a couple of slow news weeks, in the past few weeks, and I think everyone will be fair to admit that, and I don't think anyone can really heavily dispute it. But this week's been a pretty good one, so I'm pretty hyped.
Yeah. And before the show here, I was getting schooled on the UK geography here and the different accents of the different regions and that. So it was quite.
And some of those things you said about those Scousers, I mean, John, that was a bit inappropriate.
Oh my gosh. Alrighty, well, before we get started here, let's give a shout out to everyone in the chat here. Boy, we've already got a nice little crowd showing up here. Squids is here.
Technically, it's Squids.
Okay, Squids there. Yeah, exactly. We've got PyCon Fusion. Primo's here for a little bit. Now, Primo, he's relatively new to the Stadia community out in Hawaii. And so that's awesome to see Primo here. He's using VPN to play Stadia and actually works quite well. So thank you so much for stopping by here. Yeah,
welcome. Hopefully we can get a lay from you at some point. Well, that's the flowery necklace thing. I don't know what you're laughing at.
Exactly. Look. And Primo says, I want it. But he's not talking about the lay. He's talking about our raffle that we have going on here to help celebrate this week. Outright Games announced a bunch of new games that are coming to Stadia this year. So we're going to be talking about that. But to help celebrate the news here, giving away a copy of Adventure Time on Stadia. So hashtag Adventure Time to get your name into the raffle.
One thing to remember as well, you do have to be here at the end of the show in order to be able to claim it. So, Primo, make sure you at least come back towards the end of the show, because otherwise, if you do get picked, you will not be able to claim it. So you do have to be in the chat when we do that selection.
Yeah, exactly here. Miss T22 is here. Oh boy, let's see. Marks Exali, Mostly Martinez, Dead Dog 52, Lo-Fi Monk, I Can't See. Wow, lots of great and familiar faces here. Serena. Ron says, "Where's Maurice?" No Maurice today. So as many of viewers and even listeners of the show will know, that Ninja Guy X is taking some time off from content creation and just relaxing, and he's gonna show every now and then he'll make some guest appearances. He was here yesterday for our interview with Rob at Laser Dog Games for Deathrun TV, so that was very awesome. So you'll see Ninja Guy X and maybe Maurice every once in a while here, just taking things easy and enjoying life. And, that's what it's all about, really. So let's see, boy, what else? Oh, he sat here. Nathan's here. Nathan, good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, depending on where you're at. And happy Friday as well, Nathan says. We got the Avon selling, violin playing, son of a gun, American Cowboy, the one, the only Anthony is in here. He's saying this video is going to be epic, and everyone hit that like button. Well, thank you so much, Anthony. I appreciate it.
We should try, awesome. John. We should try doing a like spike. So I've heard about this thing, right, on YouTube streams where you do what's called like spike. So you get everyone just to join and not like the video. You just do the stream as normal. Then at a certain point, you hit like all at the same time. It gives you a spike in likes, and it actually sort of pushes you up the algorithm. So maybe if we get a few minutes into the stream, or maybe like for next week, you can try doing a like spike bash or something.
Oh, sure, fun that definitely would be fun here. Ninja Guy X here is in the chat. He says, "Unacceptable. We demand Maurice." So even Ninja Guy X is saying he wants to see Maurice, or we're going to have a riot. But for those of you that are on the Four Scars Gaming Army Discord here, you will know that Maurice has taken on a very significant role on the Discord. Not only does he, spout out information about, when content creators go live, or news from Reddit or Twitter or whatnot, but he has now taken on the role of a DJ. So he has his own music voice channel on Discord, and it's got a pretty rockin' cue that he plays there with all sorts of different types of music. He takes requests as well. And then also, this just happened overnight, and I was so flabbergasted. Maurice opened up his own casino on my Discord there with a whole bunch of games where people can bet and play games, win Starbucks. It's just been a crazy weekend. Maurice is really pushing it there, so a big shout out to Maurice. So maybe we'll give him a little bit of slack as to why he's not on the show for today.
I mean, I give him no slack. I mean, he was slacking off the other day in the DJing routine. He just wasn't playing any music for us. So
that's right. We had to wake him up there. I don't know what happens. Like maybe he just was falling asleep or something. I don't know. So, alrighty. So here we go. We're gonna go in again. Thank you everybody in the chat. It's so awesome. We could just have an entire show talking about the chat, but we're going to move on to our first bit of news here. There we go. And our first bit of news is that this week on Stadia blog post. This is one of two blog posts that we got this week on Stadia. May we offer you some games? So we saw the last blog post. It's a pun on using May in the title there. So it's kind of funny here.
And, I was going to point that one out because it's a very VV pun, that one. I love
it. That's kind of strange there. So we've got some surprises here in this week on Stadia blog post. And like Vivi said earlier, the last couple of weeks have kind of been, maybe not as juicy info or a lot of news really going around, but certainly this week things are starting to pick up as we're heading into the summer season as well. The first thing is a great surprise. City Skylines. It was announced coming onto Stadia. It's using the low change porting tools, and people were wondering. It was saying coming this spring. I saw lots of people asking, when is it coming? We talked about it on last week's show, coincidentally, or maybe not. And it's now launched on Tuesday on Stadia, and it launched as a Stadia Pro title, which is awesome.
So cool. And unexpected as well.
Yeah, I had no idea, but you know what? It's perfect because of that new revenue model where the developers and publishers get that share of the money. A game like City Skylines is perfect because you're going to be playing it day after day after day after day. I know we talked about it.
It's great for the developers of City Skyline, but every other developer with a game on Pro is just kicking themselves like, oh God, why my revenue? We're going to find that other developers will be like, oh God, that City Skylines.
so this game launched on Tuesday, and as you see here, it's the classic city simulation, like we talked about, Sim City type deal, but 100 times more better, like a little bit of populace mixed in here, godlike. It is so awesome. I had to be honest with you, I had never played it before, and I've played I've got a couple of hours in this week on it.
If you've only got a couple of hours in and you've been playing it, you've not been playing it right, because this game will just suck. You have to have spent if you've only played, if it's only been out for like 4 days now, if you've played it, you have to have at least played 6 days worth of gameplay. Otherwise, you've just not been playing it right. This thing's so I got it when it first came out, so I actually haven't played any of the DLC. So I'm thinking about picking up a lot of DLC. But I played it when it first came out, and it's like the old SimCity games, but on crack.
Yeah,
they've definitely given it some drugs, and it's now pumped full of roids, and it's basically roid rage SimCity. It's so bloody good.
Oh my gosh, and it plays well from what I've played with a controller. There's a high frame rate mode or a resolution mode. Play it on high frame rate, so silky smooth, and just seeing your city come to life and going in and zooming in on the streets and seeing all the cars and the people and the reaction. Now there are tutorials in there as you play along, but at first I'm going to be honest with you, it was kind of like I know what the general idea of the game is, but I really didn't know what to do. The game walks you along pretty well. I think really is like when you're beginning, there's going to be a lot of trial and error along with some of the tutorials and the tips that it gives you there. Definitely like I'm building my city there. When I made one side a 2-lane highway coming in and going out, I only made it one, and then I had to join them together, and there were traffic jams, and then I had the sewage backing up, people complaining not enough water, so there was crap in the streets. There was
here's a warning for you, right? The outlet for your sewage can change the direction of flow of the water if there's a lot of sewage going through. So don't get your water inlet to be downstream from your sewage outlet, because that ain't going well for everyone. Let's just say that.
That's good to know. There's different zoning and for residential and business. I mean, this game has it all. And, like we mentioned, I see people in the chat as well. There's DLCs. There's 3 DLCs that are free. I think one you get with it, and there's 2 additional ones that you can find in the Stadia store that are free. But there is a ton of other DLC. I know Original Penguin, who is a big fan, he put a tweet out there mentioning, if you're going to be buying the DLCs, there were certain ones that he recommended to getting first. But there is so much content in this game. It is totally amazing, and so happy that it come to Stadia. I plan on spending the long weekend digging into it, and then maybe once I feel a little more comfortable, maybe I'll stream it. I just don't want to be streaming it and be like bumbling along here and be like a
Do you know what?
total
I think that would be fun. Just do it. Just bumble. And I saw mostly Martina's comment. It's good to have kind of an idea of what to do before you start. No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Jump right in. Don't look up any tips. Go full beast mode, and just messing up is part of the fun, right?
I guess so. Yeah,
if you have a perfect city, you want to build a perfect city. That is your goal, right? You don't want to build a shitty city, but part of the fun is trying to build that perfect city and ending up with a shitty city. That is where it becomes, you get that real fun moment. So yeah, go in, with your eyes open, but don't look up how to optimize everything. You want to work that out yourself. That's the real fun of the game.
Okay. So Vivi, is there a way that you can quote unquote win or beat the game? Like, is there a certain point where you get to such a high level that it's like you win, or is it just like an ongoing where you can continuously expand your city?
Winning is eventually being able to stop playing and get your sleep cycle back. Which is to say, no, not really. I mean, you can get a city that becomes, very self-sufficient, and it becomes really minimal requirement. You just built this huge metropolis with all this stuff. And like I said, I've not played all the DLCs. So there's probably a whole load more that, literally, I played vanilla. There's probably a whole lot more in there. But yeah, it's one of those games where it's like, if you get out, you win. That is the end goal.
Okay. Well, so it is, as we mentioned here, it's a Stadia Pro game. And even they're saying here, you're only limited by your imagination. So take control and reach for the sky. If you're not on Stadia Pro, you can purchase it $39.99 US, which $49.99 Canadian, and probably, $34 for our blokes in the UK, something like that, probably.
I don't know, because I've claimed it. I don't get the price. So,
exactly. Yeah, so somewhere around there. And for those that might be a little hesitant that aren't on Stadia Pro, there's also a trial for it, a full 60-minute trial, so you can get your hands wet and get addicted to it. I just once you try it, I think I saw a lot of people on Twitter in the community. It's like, oh, I usually don't play these types of games, but once I started playing, it was like, wow, I'm really enjoying it. I get addicted to it. So this is kudos to Paradox for bringing this over to Stadia.
Issue is, so I've actually not played it on Stadia yet, but I am playing it this weekend. Trust me. The only thing is, I believe it's got the console UI, because obviously you can play with the controller, which I think is quite cool. But I don't know how that's going to feel when I play with a mouse and keyboard. Though I do kind of like the idea of playing it on the go. So I'm going on a holiday fairly soon, so this is going to be a nice one to bring my Kishi with me, and just be able to play in the hotel.
That's pretty cool. So Ninja Guy X was asking, what are some of what kinds of things do you get with the DLCs? Are you familiar? I know I saw some snow and things like that. Are you familiar with
so there's stuff. I mean, stuff like extra transport, so you can get blimps, you can get trains, you can get planes, you get stuff like that. And it's I mean, there's 30 probably DLCs, something like that. But you can get a load of stuff. So it's mostly vehicles and additional stuff. You can get weather. You get radio packs, so you can get music packs essentially, parks and more natural disasters and stuff like that. Wow. So radio station is a good one probably for you, Ninja Guy, because I believe I think it's a
And for those that don't know, that's a reference to something Ninja Guy X said, I believe it was 2 weeks ago on this show. And then Vivi made a clip of that as well and posted it on Twitter. It was
One of my
so
favorite clips
awesome.
of all time.
Oh my
Honestly.
gosh.
Oh god, I laugh every time I listen to that.
All
I
right,
listen to it a
so
lot.
I go to bed on it, right? Just keep it replaying and replaying until I fall asleep there. So next up, Far Cry Primal released. We had heard about the game coming, and now it's finally here. And lots of people happy. Far Cry Primal. You can either purchase it in the store, $29.99 US, or if you've got Ubisoft Plus, you could claim that as well. And from I haven't played it on Stadia, but from what I've seen in the community, it's 1080 60, and I believe 4K 30. There isn't a an option in the game. It's basically you've got to go into the settings on Stadia and change, it to either 1080p or 4K. So if you like that higher frame rate, change the resolution to 1080p in the settings on Stadia there, and then start the game. And it looks like it runs really well on Stadia as well. So lots of people excited for that and lots of interest. So big
I
kudos for
think
Ubisoft.
now that leaves only Blood Dragon and Far Cry 4 that we're missing from the
Yep.
from the big old list of games that Ubisoft said were coming. So there's a blog post almost a year ago now, and they listed a load of stuff, and there's only 2 of them left. So come on, we're waiting for Far Cry 4, and more importantly, Far Cry Blood Dragon, because
Yes, yeah.
That's the one we want.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. So our next bit of info here, 9 to 5 leaves early access with the 1.0 update. That happened this past Monday. The game 9 to 5 came to Stadia in December. It was out on PC earlier, I think maybe for 6 months to a year before. So it's now leaving final access. It's got achievements now in the game. Fletch confirmed that. He tweeted that out. And there's a whole bunch of new different enhancements that they've made to the game here. I saw a couple people playing as we've been playing. There are new maps, game modes, weapons and armors, extended level progression, new events, new rewards, and tons of fixes and improvements. And the best thing is, it's still free to play. So it doesn't cost you a dime to enjoy the game there. And I haven't had a chance yet to play with the new 1.0 update, but looked like Aswe on Discord was enjoying the update here. So hopefully that'll be one of the games I can throw in the rotation this weekend. Have you had a chance to play it?
I should give it a try. I mean, I booted it up. I went and I thought, this just feels like it felt like an unpolished Rainbow Six Siege when I played it. That might be a bit of a harsh review or statement. So I feel like it's one that I really should, now that it's got the 1.0 release, I really should give it another try. Because I like to be open-minded. So yeah, I'd definitely be willing to give it a go.
Yeah, I played when it was in early access. I played several times with Ninja Guy X, and although unpolished, but it is fun. 3v3v3. So I'm interested to see what 1.0 is like now, and of course they're constantly still putting updates out for it there. So we'll see lots more.
Have you seen Ninja Guy's comments in the chat?
Well, let's see. Maybe. Oh, look at this here. Maybe we could do a stream together, Vivi and John. Sure, I would love that. That would be awesome.
That sounds like good to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Well up for it. Drop into my DMs.
Ooh.
And this time, don't send those pictures again. It was too much last time.
You've got those filtered out now. Put a rule on there to.
Yeah, I tried to get one of those black boxes to cover it up, but I just couldn't find one big enough for Ninja.
Gosh. So Dawn of the Monsters, which is on Stadia Pro, we got that a couple weeks early before it released on other platforms. Not only has that been updated and there are now achievements in that game, but we are getting, trying to see what week, a week from today, for the weekend. There's going to be free play weekend, and the game is going to be on sale as well. So if you don't have Stadia Pro, and you've been interested in the game to try it out, you'll get a whole weekend to try it, and then also a really great price to be able to purchase the game. I really enjoyed it. I'm still stuck at the last boss, but I haven't played it probably for about a month, if not more, just because so many things
really raved
have
about
come
this
up.
game, didn't you? This was one that
Yes.
you really hit home with you.
Yeah, really excited about it. Ninja Guy X played along with, oh, I forget, maybe he can say in the chat there. He, like, basically Ninja Guy X streamed the entire game from start to finish. I'm trying to remember who it's with. I can picture their face, but not their name. But yeah, it's really fun, and I think partially like I'm excited about it, enjoy it, because the first world or levels you play in is Toronto. So, you know, not too often do you get games that have Canada as one of the backdrops and levels in games. And 13 a.m. Games is out of Toronto, so that's why we're going to see that. But you know, I really do have fun, the different combos and whatnot. But it can get difficult if you're playing by yourself. And it was Bump. That's right. It was Bump. Ninja Guy X and Bump streamed I think the entire game over several streams. They played that and just had a blast with it. So I'm on the last bus, Azrael. Boss, not bus. And one of these days we'll, you know, make get in maybe an appointment with Ninja Guy X. We can pencil me in, and he can help me
carry you through.
Yes.
Oh yeah, help you. Yeah, not
ridiculous. Yeah. Exactly. So let's see. Mostly Martinez is saying Hezekiah and I play it. Way more fun co-op. And it has Tim Hortons. That's right. Yeah, I agree. I like
donuts.
I wish you could. I wish you could. But yeah, I agree that the times that I've played it with co-op, I think it's still fun in its own right, but it's more enjoyable with playing it with another friend there. Fortunately, it doesn't have online.
I think there's a lot of games that are like that though, like where you play it on your own and it's like, is this all right? But it's the co-op that makes it, and you know,
right.
I can see that very much being the case with this one.
Right, because you know it's the camaraderie between you and whoever you're playing with, and that satisfaction of beating the bosses or the enemies and teaming up on them, and or you take that guy, I'll take this guy, you know. So it's a lot more manageable there, and it's really fun. I really enjoy it. So yeah, and just like mostly Martinez says here, you can play off each other's special moves. So yeah. It's a pretty fun game. So this upcoming weekend, you'll be able to try it a week from today. So on May the 26th, you'll be able to try it for an entire weekend, and then pick it up with for a really great price. It'll be $9 off, $10 off, whatever, and it'll be a good price. So I recommend checking it out there, and if you enjoy it, pick it up, because I had a blast playing it. So Pac-Man turning the big 4-0, and the sale started, or
it's 42.
Starting. 42. Is he 42? It was saying 4-0.
Yes. It says 42.
Oh.
Refresh your blog.
Refresh it?
Yeah, mine says I put the blog open. There you go.
Really? I only opened this up maybe about an hour or so ago.
You probably had it cached.
Okay.
Yeah, it's certainly 42, and yeah,
well,
I think they were
4-0. Yeah. VV, you know, put his magic wand, and all of a sudden we change it there. He hacked my computer, but regardless, Pac-Man's turning 42, not as old as Anthony, but in the chat here, but he's turning 42, and starting on May the 22nd, so that's going to be what, Sunday? We'll be celebrating with 50% off of the world's biggest simultaneous multiplayer Pac-Man experience, Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle. It's currently $20 US, and it'll be $10 US. So tack on the appropriate differences in currency, or in your case, Vivi, subtract them, and it's going to be
Yeah.
another great deal there. And I know the Cowboys a big fan of this game here, and I played this several times, enjoy it. It's kind of like Super Bomberman R online. This would be, maybe a fun game to play on the Stadia Discord when you have those events.
I suck at Pac-Man, like absolutely suck at it. But I do own this game because I got it for free. At one point, I managed to win a copy. But yeah, I am not good at this game.
And so also, again, if you're interested and you're wondering, is it really worth, the $10? Well, you won't have to guess because there's a 30-minute trial and you can start chomping your way to the top of the leaderboards. So be on the lookout for that. That sale starts on May 22nd, so that's going to be Sunday. 50% off, and there's a 30-minute trial that I believe will be active that day. I don't know if it's active now or not, but that's to help celebrate.
I think it's active now.
Oh, is it?
If I recall. Let me just check. Yes, It looks like it is. Yeah.
So Ninja Guy X makes a good point here. And this is because we saw something, I don't know what it was, either someone on YouTube or Twitter, and we were talking about it on Discord there. Don't forget, if you're over 25, you're considered a senior.
Don't get me started on this. I had some choice words to say when I saw this.
Yes. I don't remember the particulars. Yeah. Yeah, I think they called like senior, like you're a senior gamer if you're 25 or older.
I saw that. Like they called it and I was just like, well, you can eat my somewhere.
Yes, that's
There's a place that I sit on that would be very unpleasant to eat that person can consume. I think that keeps it safe for work, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Still, right?
Yeah,
we're okay.
Unbelievable. All right, so that was it for on Tuesday this week on Stadia. So entertaining blog post there. We got some a new game, Stadia Pro game, some sales. Actually, two new games there. Some sales, trials, Pac-Man celebrating his birthday, and then the next day, Roller Champions, a game that I first played. We talked about it last week. I first played this back at E3 2019 and had such fun with it here. We got a release date. So Roller Champions, it's free to play from Ubisoft, and it's launching on May 25th. But there's a little caveat. So it's launching on May 25th for PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. And then it's coming to Stadia, Luna, and the Epic Store, as well as Nintendo Switch a little bit later. I contacted PR to see if I could maybe finagle a date or a time frame out of them, but they said it's not something that they're going to announce at this point. We know when the game launches on the 25th here, the first season is going to be 30 days. So that will take us to June the 25th. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that after that first season or preseason, I'm not sure exactly the way that they word it here, that we'll see the game launch on Stadia. It may be a little bit later, but this game has always been in development for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and PC. So it's really not too surprising. I would have liked to see it launch on the 25th for Stadia, but it is what it is. I mean, there's cross progression, cross save, cross play. So if you really want to start to play it, you can, play it on Steam, or if you've got Xbox One or PS4, create your account and get a little bit of a head start and, kind of learn the ropes here. And then when it comes out on Stadia, I would really love to see, because there's a tournament mode in this. You could set up tournaments. I would love to see the Stadia community set up a tournament and just have different matches between teams, because it's 3v3. You can get different gear. You can unlock gear and also buy gear. There's a season pass as well, like a premium season pass. There's so much different customizations that you could do with it. So I'm really, really looking forward to this game because it's going to be a boatload of fun.
Yeah, it's a free to play game, so that's
Mm-hmm.
quite exciting. As you mentioned, the one thing I was going to point out is the fact that there's cross play, cross progression. So at the end of the day, if you really are desperate to play, if you've got any device, like an older console or an old PC, you might be able to play it on there. And then when it comes to Stadia, you can just start playing on there. So you've got that that little bit of an advantage there. I would hope that we wouldn't miss out on the entirety of the first season. So I hope that maybe they will, try to, whilst it's coming out a little bit of a later date, they wouldn't make, you miss out on a whole season's worth of, cosmetics and, unlockables. So that's my big hope. But yeah, it's a bit of a bummer that it's not launching alongside everything else. But it's one of those things that it happens.
Yeah, it happens. And I mean, like I said, the game's been in development. I first heard about it in 2019, so I'm sure it's been in development longer than that. So it's, pretty much been in development probably before Stadia was around here. So, like you said, a little bit, a little bit of a bummer, but yeah.
Yeah, that's because it's not even coming to like Xbox Series X and S and PS5. It's only coming to them via backward compatibility. So, it seems as though it was designed to be developed for the PS4 and Xbox One. So, the fact that they are working to port it across to Stadia is just a bit of a bonus. And like Xbox and PS5, they're not saying anything about actually creating a native version for those games. So. They are putting that effort. It just shows that they do care about the Stadia, community, and that they are dedicated to the platform. And I mean, I really want to say bad things about the game just to wind up one of my friends because he's really excited for this game. And he said to me, on the show, he said, "Don't say bad stuff about this game. I'm really excited about it. Don't slag it off on the show." So I was so tempted to slag it off, but. I'll be honest, it does look like a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh.
It looks much better than Rocket League. So
yes. I think there's a lot of excitement for this. There's even, if you just look on social media, so many people are excited for it. I think this is going to be a really big game, and so glad that it's coming to Stadia. And, like you mentioned too, it's not even coming to Nintendo Switch on the 25th. And Nintendo Switch has a user base of, what is it? Over 85 million, people on their console as well. So, if it's not coming to Switch on the launch, then, and it's coming at a later date, I'm sure we'll see the Switch and the Stadia dates probably very close to each other because they want to get everybody on board there. There's developer videos. Check out the Ubisoft North America, or I'm sure also the other Ubisoft YouTube channels. There's stuff, rollerchampions.com. It's developed by Ubisoft Montreal. So it's pretty awesome to see another Canadian developed game here. And and I'm really, really excited for this game, and it's so fun here, and really looking forward to it. I'm gonna on the 25th. I'm gonna probably start out on PlayStation, play it, get my characters created, get some gear, and then when it launches on Stadia, we'll move over to Stadia and just have lots of fun with the community and playing.
And you'll have unlocked a load of stuff, so everybody else around you will be all crap, and you'll be like, "Yeah, skills, bruh." So it'd be great.
Exactly.
And I've got tinfoil hat theory, right? I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on here. One sec. I'm just gonna let's fit it on my head. That was the tinfoil, making the noise. They've delayed it on Switch, Epic Games, Stadia, and Luna, right? So what they're doing, and then hear me out. This is
okay. All right.
This is legit. They are working on the Shaka skin, right? For Stadia.
I hope so.
They've got a Link one for Switch. Epic Games Store, they're going to put some Fortnite crap in there. And for Amazon Luna, Jeff Bezos is going to be in it. So I'm calling it right now. That's why it's delayed. They need to get Shaka into the game.
Oh, I hope so. That would be totally amazing if they get Shaka into the game,
It's happening.
because like she runs the social media, the Twitter account there, and she's really into roller skating and whatnot, amongst other things. So I think that would be a perfect fit if that ever happened. I'd buy it immediately, and then I would give away the Google Play equivalent, the whatever it costs to buy it in streams there, so we could get as many people as possible purchasing that gear. That would be awesome. I would really love it.
I mean, I've already got my pre-order in for it. I mean, it doesn't exist yet, but I've put some money in an envelope. I put 50 quid in an envelope, and I've like posted it over to Ubisoft saying, as soon as the Shaka thing, just give us a copy. Exactly. So that's now in their inbox. With my my Uplay handle on it. It's going to happen.
Oh my gosh. So I see Primo in the chat there says about to lose service. You know what I'll do for Primo, since he's over in Hawaii here, you know what, Primo, if by chance the bot does pick you as the winner, I'll contact you. Normally we like to have everybody here to claim their prize, but I'll make this exception just because his situation here. So Primo, if by chance you do get selected by the bot, well, you're still in contention there. Thanks so much for coming out. Really do appreciate it. So Roller Champions is really excited for that. So rolling on,
Oh, you're a punny guy.
On Thursday, Outright Games had their OG Unwrapped digital event. I was actually privy to this the week prior, so I was really excited when I found out about these games, and I couldn't tell anybody. I had to keep the lips zipped. I put a tweet out there showing like a magic crystal ball saying, I think we're going to see some Stadia games announced this week, and sure enough, here it is. Outright Games, they are really pouring their support behind Stadia. What I wasn't aware of until this past week is Outright Games has only been around since 2017, and they've got 30 games that they've published there. And we've already seen quite a few on Stadia, and we're getting 6 more that they're announcing this year. So that is pretty awesome to see here. Started off with DC League of Super Pets. Now that game was announced earlier this year, but it didn't mention anything about Stadia, and people were asking about it, and Outright Games was like, well, we really can't say much. And although it wasn't part of the OG Unwrapped, when I was previewing the event and talking with Outright Games and the developers and the PR, I mentioned it. I said, because I know a lot of people are asking, I said, what about, the Super Pets game? Is that coming? And they said, yes, it's coming out July the 15th, but we haven't made that public yet. So John, keep quiet. So I myself was pretty surprised to see in the blog post here. I thought that maybe that they were going to wait until June to announce it, but it makes sense here with the other Outright Games that it's coming July the 15th to Stadia. Also, My Little Pony.
I have a question. Sorry,
before
we move on to that one. This game, right? Do the dog that you control it, can they talk?
Can crypt? I'm not sure.
It could be a talking dog that can fly and go to space.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There's a competition in that market.
Yeah. That's a good question. To be honest, I haven't watched the trailer. They put a trailer. I haven't watched the trailer to see if Crypto talks here. I would assume he does, but you know what? You never want to assume, because you know what happens there. But we'll have to find out. Maybe you make a bum out of you and me. So I don't know, maybe if someone there wants to check out and see the trailer, see if Crypto talks, that way we can confirm it here. The next game, My Little Pony: A Maritime Adventure, that was also announced earlier this year. No mention of Stadia at the time, but during the event, we learned that yes, My Little Pony: A Maritime Adventure is coming to Stadia this summer. So it'll be, a few months later than the other platforms. But I think that's because the game was started development before they signed that deal with Stadia. And then they've had this relationship with Stadia now that's coming up to a year in August. And, of course, the community's been vocal about outright games, and, they saw that. So it's good to see. My Little Pony: A Maritime Adventure is coming, and we can see.
Shout out to the
Let's
bronies.
let's see here. So Vivi himself says the dog can talk. Zarena said, "My daughter's going to flip over My Little Pony." So yeah, that's good.
Serena, let's face it, it's not for your daughter. You're a brony, aren't you? let's put this out here right now.
Yeah, exactly.
We can confirm for everyone watching, Zarina is a brony.
Yeah, and so we're looking at it here. I'll scroll down here as we talk the DC League of Super Pets. There, you can see it's like a shooting game there. It kind of looks like it might be like an on-rail shooter, at least that aspect to it there. Different bosses, and that's kind of cool though, really, to be honest with you. And then here we go, the My Little Pony, the Maritime Adventure. So it says Sunny wants to bring back the magic. Oh boy, good old YouTube buffering there. There we go. Of Maritime Bay Day Festival back to Equestria, but some pony is out to spoil her plans. Naughty pony. Save the celebration by putting on fashion shows, rescuing cute animals, flying with Pegasi, I guess, and more, with a helping hoof from your new My Little Pony friends here. Now, I know, like, back in the day when I was a young little lad, in the 80s here, My Little Pony was pretty popular. And then, of course, with as things go, it became out of popularity. And now it's come back. I believe that there was a Netflix movie, or there was some type of animated movie that recently came out within the last couple of months that helped inspire this game as well. And
it's been a bit of a resurgence in the last few years.
Yep, yeah, exactly. So it's good to see, although it might not be everyone's cup of tea. It's just the more variety of games that are out there, the better. So it's good. Looks like you can customize your pony. Look, there's multiplayer. 2 players can put on a fashion show. So it's cool. It's got its target audience there, and I think people will really enjoy that.
Ninja Guy and Fourscar stream when multiplayer?
Well, I don't know when it comes out. We'll definitely we'll have a stream. I promise you. We'll work out the details. Next was quite a surprise here. Paw Patrol Grand Prix, coming from our friends at 3D Clouds at the end of September here. And this is going to be a kart racing game with that famous Paw Patrol brand. And there's I believe there's 11 different courses, if I remember correctly. I wrote up about it, but there's so much going on, I can't keep track of all the information. But yeah, there's 4-player split screen. There's no online play because, with these games, with outright games, they're geared towards the younger to older kids. So there's not going to be any online play with them. But, you can have up to 4-player local, and, there we go. Up to 4 Paw Patrol racers. You can become the champion. They have different skill sets or difficulty levels in there too. So you can set it to, the easy for the younger kids, but for old kids, for seniors 25 and older, you can up the difficulty here and have fun. So, I'll play that there. I'll see if maybe the cowboy will bite. He likes to have fun and competitive.
He likes to lose to you, doesn't he, on stream?
Yeah, he does. But then tell everybody that he kicks my butt. So we'll see here. LOL surprise. BB's born to travel. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it looked like Overcooked. Where
These LOL
they're
surprise dolls, they really creep me out. I bought one for Christmas for like I think it was like my cousin or something like that a few years
uh-huh.
back, and honestly, they are the creepiest things. I mean, the kids love them, but
Mhm.
like they just got these big heads and these big eyes, and they're just wearing. Oh no, they just give me the heebie-jeebies.
Oh my gosh! And look, as we were talking about earlier, City Skylines. Look, Stadia Adventure says so late. I blame City Skylines and Hitman for it. So
See,
there you go.
he's playing City Skyline right. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. You know, if you're playing
yeah,
it, you're
yeah.
getting addicted. You're losing track of time, and you know
Um,
that's what happens. That's how you play
so
City
with the
Skylines right.
the LOL surprise here, Born to Travel. You can play as your favorite characters. There's different cosmetics that you can unlock, customize, challenges. It even says, look, there's 30 stages across 5 new cities, including New Fab City. Oh my gosh, Queen Island and Neon Desert. So
Yeah.
put on your
And do you know what?
show.
The gameplay actually looks kind of fun. Like, as
Yeah.
much as I mentioned that characters look kind of creepy, and I mean, look at the one that's on screen right now. Oh god, it's giving me nightmares. But the gameplay looks fun. It does look like Overcooked. It looks like those kinds of party games, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's designed for a younger audience. I think it'll be
Right.
not only fun for them, but I
Yep.
think an adult playing with them actually
Yes.
might
I
have
think
fun. You know,
so. Yeah.
I think that's the best type of game. You know, like if you have a kids game that
Mhm.
an adult wouldn't necessarily choose to play, like maybe the Paw Patrol Grand Prix. You'd rather
Mhm.
maybe play Question
Mhm.
Racing and LOL's
Right.
Prize. You might want to play the like Overcooked. But the fact that it would still be fun for adults to play with the kids, and you can have that bonding. I just really think, and
Mhm.
I've said it before, but they Stadia have really done such a clever move getting these kids games on board because
Yeah.
yeah, you're not going to get someone breaking a PlayStation, which is super expensive. You're just going to get, such a good idea.
Yeah. And now here's one of my favorite games that they showed there. This was announced, I think, about a month and a half ago, but it didn't mention Stadia. And now we got confirmation that it's coming to Stadia. Star Trek Prodigy Supernova YouTube buffer. Here we go. Thanks so much, YouTube. I really love it.
It's because
This
you've got
game
all the
was
other videos probably buffered.
yeah.
So
Still, it should be perfectly fine. But anyways, yeah. So this game is based on the animated series, and I didn't even know that there was an animated series. This is the first Star Trek game that's geared towards younger players, and it's coming out in October here, and it includes the original voice actors from the show here. You can have up to 2-player
yep.
local co-op play as well. And it just like this looks good. Like this is one of my favorite ones that's shown here, and I think that there's going to be senior gamers are really going to be surprised when they play this, and I think they're going to be addicted to it because there's tons of Star Trek fans out there,
Yeah. And I've
and
heard good
even
things about the series, even though it's like a Nickelodeon one. I mean, I'm not a Trekkie. I live long and prosper and all that. It's not my, I'm probably going to get a lot of stick for this, but I loved the films, the new films. The old films are terrible. The old series terrible. Star Trek is just terrible. But people who like Star Trek have said that actually a lot of Trekkies have given Prodigy a miss because it's on Nickelodeon. It's like kids show, but apparently it's very good. If you're a Star Wars fan and you ever watched Clone Wars and it was the first series and you thought this is a bit childish, right? That's what a lot of people happen with Star Trek Prodigy, but Clone Wars ended up being one of my favorite Star Wars, including the films, ended up being one of my favorite Star Wars properties. And I think this, for a lot of adults, the series, it's worth giving a try. And apparently the game, is going to be based off of that. So, it could be very much appealing to adults as well.
Yeah. So going down here, we're looking, and it says here, join the Starfleet. Now, I'm horrible at names, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce that these names are. I'll highlight them here. Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Dal Re, because it's an apostrophe. That's what I'd say, or Ra'el. Actually, there's an L and I. No, it's an I. So it's an L. Sorry. So it's Dal Rael and Gwindala.
Yes.
There we go.
So you'll play as those characters and rescue their scatter crew. You can, as we mentioned earlier, you play by yourself or in 2-player cooperative mode. And again, this is good because you've got a younger kid or child or whatever have you, and then the parent or family member or friend playing along there together. And you can go boldly where nobody else has gone before. There's different worlds, environments, puzzles, challenges, and mysteries, new alien species and new nemesis. So this looks really good. And if I remember correctly, the age target for this is 9
at least,
I think.
3.
Well, no, the LOL dolls is 3, if I remember correctly. I when I wrote up my overview for the Best Buy Canada blog, I put all that information in there. So if you're really looking for extra details, as far as like recommended age and stuff like that, blog.bestbuy.ca, and you'll see my article there, and you can find out that information. But yeah, this
also go to Avon if you fancy some stuff from there. Since we're plugging things, I thought just throw the Avon in. Is that
right? Use code the cowboy and you'll get 10 to 15% off. So this was my next favorite game showing here, DreamWorks Dragons Legend of the 9 Realms. We'll put this on loop here so that's going. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got that buffer, baby. I love buffer, baby. Yes. So this one's coming out fall, and it takes place after the first game. It says, unleash your inner dragon and fly beyond the hidden world on your fiery adventure to find and rescue Thunder's family and save the legendary dragon kingdoms. Let's see. There's new realms that you're going to explore. And different places that you'll go. We'll just take a peek here at some of the gameplay. The other game that's out, DreamWorks Dragons on Stadia there, that was another one that surprised me as well. It's meant for older kids, but I find it like enjoyable. It has a little bit of a challenge. Yeah, pretty much. It has a little bit of a challenge here. Never too difficult, but lots of exploring and whatnot. So this looks pretty neat. And I'm interested in playing this game for sure.
Yeah, like they dropped the How to Train Your from the Dragon series, because I loved How to Train Dragon. I thought it was a great film, and I think it's just they're missing the people riding them. I'd love to just see a human riding like one of these, but yeah, I suppose you get electrocuted if you're on that black one there.
Yeah. So I see Stadia Adventure mentioned, he said on the Star Trek one, the video says certification to be confirmed on that one. I spoke directly with Outright Games and they confirmed to me that it is coming to Stadia on the same day and date as the other platforms. So unless there is an unannounced delay, I would expect it to be the exact same.
I think he was more talking about the target audience. Is saying that there's no certification, so it doesn't have a confirmed target audience. But
well,
I think that's.
I think you know what? Here, let's go. We're gonna be bad boys. We're gonna go look here because I got this info direct from Outright themselves. We'll go here.
And if you're in Canada, make sure to go to bestbuy.blog to see all of the best Buy, best-selling, best items for the best prices.
The bestesses. So we got DreamWorks here, the game that we are looking at here, the age range 7 to 11. And again, it says here, slightly older and younger can enjoy it. Paw Patrol is 3 years old and up. Let's see here. LOL, 3 years old and up. And Star Trek, 7 years old and up. And then all this info here is directly from Outright Games. And I verified with them there. Release date October the 14th. And the ESRB rating is E10+. So everyone 10 and up. But Outright themselves says it's geared for 7 and up. So tomato, potato, right? Like,
well, what to do if you're between 7 and 10, eh? what to
Oh,
do.
I guess you're gonna have to ask mommy and daddy if you can play. Uh,
That,
so anyway,
I mean, I don't know if they should. ESRB says no.
so DreamWorks Dragons Legend of the Nine Realms here. You can build your character, level it up. It's like an action role playing game, and there's new heroes to unlock. And yeah, so it looks pretty interesting. I'm excited for that one, along with the Star Trek as well. There was one other game, and I have it over here, and they told me specifically how to word it here. So it's still a work in progress, and there's not an official title for the game yet. So it's referred to as DC Justice League game from Outright Games, and currently it's not confirmed for Stadia, but I was told that doesn't mean it's not coming to Stadia. They're not ready to announce, nothing to announce at this time, but that doesn't mean it's not coming. And it's scheduled for next year, so 2023. So I have a good feeling, based upon Outright Games and their past history, that we'll see this one. Again, I think this was just one of the games that's been in development before the whole contract with Stadia that came along. So, I'm pretty confident we'll see it. But you know what? This is next year. There's already 6 other games that are confirmed coming this year. And there might even be some other ones that we don't know. I mean, I don't know of, but who knows? But regardless, it's pretty good support from our friends over at Outright Games. And that was another blog post here on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see DC superheroes, if I'm honest, because as you said, they've been really supportive. Even on Twitter, they've been, talking about Stadia. And it is a good way to get those early gamers.
Exactly.
There's a reason that the phrase "Dadia" or "Dadia," depending on how you want to pronounce it, exists. Now, it's because there are a good portion of parents, on Stadia. And the fact of the matter is, you've just got cheap and easy access to games for kids. It's like, it's a win-win for Outright, really.
It is, right. Yeah. And you always see, like, lots of times younger kids too playing on iPhones, iPads, tablets, whatever have you.
They've got
and
those
this
kids'
year,
tablets with those buffers and everything as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got high quality games here that you can play, and it's exciting. So I'm really happy to see the support from Outright Games, and I think this support will just continue to grow as their catalog and library grows as well. So a big hats off and kudos to our friends at Outright Games.
What up, Outright?
So moving along, we had not too long ago had an announcement, a blog post, that Deathrun TV was coming to Stadia. Well, now we've got an official release date. And you actually know what happened. There was a site out of Montreal that actually tweeted and leaked the release date a day before that it was supposed to, because this was under embargo. And someone sent to me, said, hey, so-and-so's tweeted Deathrun TV coming out June 1st. And I looked at it. I'm like, uh-oh. So I sent them a message there. Let me get this bigger. I sent the place that tweeted out a message and said, hey, this is still under embargo. They initially took it down. So it was kind of leaked a day or two before, but we got the official confirmation. It's coming June the 1st, which is awesome. There's speculation that, hey, it's coming June the 1st. Could this be a Stadia Pro game? There's no confirmation at all.
That's like immediately my thought. When you say June 1st, I'm thinking, is this going to be on next week's
blog? between you and I, Vivi, and nobody else watching or listening here, I think this would be a perfect candidate for Stadia Pro. And I do think 100%. It will be. It's just they're not ready to announce it yet. And we even talked with, which I've got, it should be in the next here, the next tab. We spoke with yesterday Rob from LaserDog Games developer behind Deathrun TV, and we learned quite a little bit. Laserdog Games over the past, they've been around for 6 to 7 years, maybe even longer if I remember correctly. They've been going through some troubled times recently. Stadia community came together and purchased some of their soundtracks, made donations, and it really helped the company survive there and get things going in the right direction. From what I hear, like I said, I mentioned they're going in the right direction. Their contract with Merge for this game is up, but that doesn't mean that if there's any patches or fixes or additional content that they won't be there to be able to make those fixes. They renegotiate something. But this was such a great interview here.
I wish I could watch it.
Yes. So the other thing that we want to mention is that there was some weird bug. I woke up this morning, early this morning, about 1 a.m. Eastern time. An email was sent from YouTube that the video was taken down. And you know why? I bet you if I click on it, because I'm logged in, I can still see it here. So let's be naughty boys. Yeah. So the video was taken down from YouTube. It said that it violated community sanctions and that it was spamming or trying to deceive people. And I was like, what the heck? I quickly got on support with Google, and they're like, we're looking into this. And then I'm starting to find out other people got not this game, but similar things. So I know Craig Petter Games, I don't know if he's still in the chat there. He got a similar, his Creta stream was taken down, and several other people that I talked with also had similar issues. Google's aware of it, so they fixed the issue where it's not the system is not taking any more videos down, and now they're going back to fix to get the other videos back up and live. So unfortunately, until that happens, the video is no longer on my channel. Like I said, I'm seeing it here because I'm logged in. You can see they've set it to private, and I can't do a thing about, I can't change it at all. But we got to talk to Rob here. We met his daughter as well. He had just picked his daughter up from school. It was such a great interview. When it comes back online, I'll tweet it back out. I highly recommend everyone check it out. And we actually had Nathan from the Stadia community reached out to Rob there. He made an offer because Rob actually hadn't tried Stadia before, hasn't tried Stadia. He worked on the main game, but then they gave it to moving it to or porting it to Stadia was done by another person who Rob worked with on an as needed basis if he had questions and needed some little bit of help here or there. Rob said, he hasn't had the time really to even play Stadia. So Nathan said, you know what, Rob, I'll buy you Enter the Gungeon and for your daughter, Peppa Pig. And so he extended that olive branch there. And I know the two have been in contact there. And so now Rob was going to be a new Stadian here. Enter the Gungeon, gift to Enter the Gungeon, and my friend Peppa Pig for his daughter. So it was really a great interview. And just seeing just seeing the emotion from Rob, from between him and there's his other partner there in the studio from when they got the donations from the Stadia community was just fantastic. So definitely when it comes back on, check it out. Deathrun TV, that's another game that I'm excited for. Twin stick shooter, and coming to Stadia June the 1st. Again, nothing confirmed that it's Stadia Pro, but hopefully it will be. And there's a demo out on PC now. I know Ninja Guy X is really excited about this game. He also played and streamed the demo and just had a blast. There was one question or one concern that Ninja Guy X had, and I as well shared it. I'm sure there were others, is that in the demo, the character, there's like a excessive swearing. So
Right.
like a lot of swearing. And Ninja Guy X asked Rob if that had been toned down or if there's any option for that to be, modification. And he did say that was something that as a team and also with Merge Games, they've now toned down the swearing in the game there. So that's awesome. So for those, worried because excessive, meaning it was like pretty much every couple of seconds there was like F this and so
Yeah.
a little bit of swearing every now and then I think is okay, but when there's like super excessive, that's when, for especially on a stream or if you've got, family members around or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that,
you can't stream that, can you?
yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean, if
So,
you're an old person like myself, you, or I know Metal Wolf, you might have heard of a game called Smash TV. Did you ever play that? It was like an old arcade game. So this is basically a spiritual successor. So if you enjoyed Smash TV, it was just a silly little, arcade shooter. It was really quite, for the time, it was very edgy and it was just super silly as well, just like completely stupid. If you enjoyed Smash TV, then this is definitely one to look out for. So I'll definitely be giving it a go, and I am hoping that it comes to pro because it does feel like a good pro game.
Yeah, definitely for sure. So we're going to get ready to move on here to our community news, but I'm getting that stuff ready in the background here. And as we do so, I also want to mention the Captures of Stadia is a weekly series. Now, this last, let me see here, the last week or so, I've been kind of following a little bit behind with so much going on, but I'm going to get back on track here. I promise everyone. And that's a series of videos where the community will share their 30-minute Stadia video clips.
30 minutes? Oh, bloody hell. That's
gosh.
A really long series. Have you put in multiple 30-minute videos? Jesus, John, you really are burning the candle.
30-second video clips. We like to keep it short and sweet there. And, it's just any wacky, goofy, or funny things that happen in games, glitches and whatnot. And we've had such quite a positive response to this. And I'm just looking to see if I can find in the background here.
If I can find
our winner this past week was none other than Stadia Pro Gaming, and the clip was called Daddy Got Shot. And Daddy got shot in the face, I think is exactly what we mentioned it here. And it was his was actually a 30-second clip from a stream, and we incorporated that into, let me see, I'm just getting it queued up here. Yeah, so he was playing let's see. Yes, PUBG. And here we go. So he was playing Daddy Got Shot in the Face. He was playing along with Ray, and Ray was trolling him and saying, you know what, don't make me kill you on your own stream. And William was like, yeah, come on. But he's like taunting him here and saying, yeah, come on. And then Ray was like, oh, I opened the door. Daddy opened the door. Daddy's going to get you. And right there, SPG goes, Daddy got shot in the face. Daddy got shot in the face. And everyone was laughing. It's so funny. Check it out.
Daddy got shot in the face.
Yeah. Captures of Stadia episode 7. It was so fun. And you go, thanks. I really do appreciate tons of people in the community submitting their videos here. And it's just a great way to have fun and laugh, for 5 minutes of your day here at some of these great little videos that people submit. So shout out to SPG. He won this past week's, which puts him into a raffle to win a Google Play gift card at the end of the month. So that's coming up soon. And winners are determined by voting. So what people do is they just put their votes in here, reply to the video in the comments, and we tally up at the end of the week who has got the most votes, and sure enough, it was SPG. So we're going to move on here. Let me make sure I've got this to a little bit of info here. Carson Kelly Games. When I make it big here, it kind of it kind of craps it out there. But let's see. Let's reload it. Oh my dear Lord, I feel so embarrassed. There we go. So
if you want
we
to
also
big, just give it a quick rub.
Gosh. We recently talked with Carson Kelly Games about their upcoming game, Talking Dogs. Again, that was another fun interview. Vivi was in the chat there, having a good old time, and everybody in the chat was having so much fun.
Yeah, we were all howling with laughter.
We learned a lot about the game, and also Carson talked about some changes, upcoming changes, and then also that coming in June that there is going to be a reveal. So we're going to get actual gameplay footage and also a trailer as well. And sure enough,
a trailer for the upcoming TV show / film.
Oh yeah, there were lots of hints that Carson put out there in the video. So go back and watch it. That one's still up, so you can watch that video. If you haven't already, check it out here. And
lots of little. He was trying to scatter these little Easter eggs throughout, which I thought was really interesting because he kept hinting at different things. And I think as the chat were in detective mode, and I think as a group we managed to hit a couple of nails on the heads. There's going to be space. There's going to be flying. There's going to be a film. He's got a deal with Sony. 4-film deal. He's got a TV series. There's going to be merchandise. There's going to be a mascot walking around Disney. It's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. You never know. There was lots of inspiration Carson talked about, but he has a countdown on the website, Carson Kelly Games. So we're going to get the reveal of Talking Dogs Friday, June the 17th. So we've got 27 days, 6 hours, 13 minutes, and 40 some odd seconds. Carson mentioned also on the interview that he pulled a Sonic. So Phil, the main character of which we saw now, the new Phil looks completely different. The game now is running Unreal Engine 5. So excited to learn and see more about Talking Dogs. But that's not the only little bit of news for Talking Dogs. And this is about the interview, like I was mentioned, that we had this past week, and such a fun time. Is there's also coming on Wednesday, June the 1st, there's another announcement here. So this is going to be the first announcement about Talking Dogs. I don't know what it all entails, but it's definitely
nice.
It's definitely separate from the June 17th.
It's a TV series / film.
So you never know. He said there's big things coming.
I would put money that there's going to be some sort of animated, like either TV series or film. I would legitimately put money on that fact.
Well, there you never go. So speculation running wild here, and so check it out if you haven't already. Give Carson Kelly Games, so Carson Kelly on Twitter, a follow, or Talking Dogs. I believe it's just Talking. Oh, you know what? I can see if I look at the.
It's Carson Kelly Games, by the way, at Carson Kelly Games.
Yeah. Quoted tweet. Oh, there's me. Talking Dog.
And there's also as at Talking Dogs Game as well.
There we go. Yeah. So I don't have it here, but we'll get all in the description of this video here. And I saw Primo mention in the chat, and I did respond earlier about the captures of Stadia. If you'd like to submit a clip, just check out the description of this video here, and I've got a link to a form that you can fill out and submit your clip. And if you have any problems, always just send me, DM or tweet me or email me or whatever, and we'll get it all straightened away. So more Talking Dogs news coming June the 1st, and then we've got the showcase later in June. And after that, I spoke with Carson, and he said sometime during probably the last week or week and a half in June, he'll come back on the show and we'll talk more about the game and the news that's been revealed here. So looking forward to that. Okay. So I saw this is let's see here. We'll come back to this because I've got to play a little bit of a trick to show what we want to talk about here. So we got a press release earlier this week that Asmodee Digital and Saber Interactive are announcing that Gloomhaven is coming to video game consoles, quotes, video game consoles, in 2023. No specific platforms were mentioned, but there was a LinkedIn info that, and actually, you know what? It was Stoked for Good originally posted, and then DB Stadia reposted here last December that mentioned a UI designer programmer under contract, design and implementation for Gloomhaven, including Stadia porting. So while nothing's confirmed, and this description on LinkedIn has since been updated, and they got rid of the part where it says including Stadia porting. I just thought it was interesting that it's coming 2023 to consoles. So it's possible that we could see it come to Stadia next year. Again, nothing confirmed. No platforms were mentioned. But, it's a few signs here pointing to that the game could be coming to Stadia next year. So I thought that's interesting. I don't know, Vivi, have you ever played any of Gloomhaven or?
So I played the Gloomhaven board game.
Yeah.
I'm old school retro, in person, pieces moving around, and it's a lot of fun. I've never played the video game, if I'm completely honest. I hear the video game is just very much like the board game, and the board game is a lot of fun. It's think of it like your kind of RPG style combat. So imagine like D&D on like a grid, and you move around, have your abilities, you have your characters, you can level up, they can die and stuff like that. So it's a lot of like, you got to think about tactics and way move, and it's turn based, and it's a great board game. In fact, I believe on Board Game Geek it might still be, or at least at one point it was, the #1 board game of all time, like in terms of voting, like Geek Score. So that is, and trust me, that is super high praise, because the number of board games that are in existence, and how rabid the people are in terms of board games, and I'm a huge board gamer. So the fact that it can get to the top of like an all-time board game list just shows you how good of a game it is. Right. So 100%. It's one that's it is. I've just pulled it up. Gloomhaven 2017 is still the highest rated game on Board Game Geek. So that is evidence that it is a good game.
That's awesome.
And yes, I am a senior gamer, mostly Martinez.
Saw that in there. So a little bit of news here, speculation. Like I said, the press release just said that it's coming to video game consoles in 2023. So who knows? But we'll just throw that out there, and maybe next year we might be seeing the game on Stadia. So Jack DeSlip here. There was an article posted. They got to speak with Yves a little bit here. His favorite quote from the conversation with Yves was, "The Stadia Pro revenue is amazing because after the first month, the revenue stabilizes, which gives us a stable monthly income. And this is highly unusual in the indie scene." And we know that, a couple of weeks ago, or it might even be a month ago now, Yves put out, there we go, a tweet here, and it let us know a little bit of the data update on how 100 Days is going. It's been out a year now, and what we can see here, what was interesting is that, go to the tweet. So we take a look here. When you look at the overall pie of copies of distributions of the game, Stadia accounted for about 2%. We're just going to round it up there. But when we look at income distributions, because the game has been on Stadia Pro for, I believe, the last 6 months, if I'm correct, and I think they just re-signed on again.
Yeah.
The Stadia Pro income accounted for 22% of his overall income for the game. That's pretty
And was second
substantial.
only to Steam. That's the
Yes.
big part as well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's 21, sorry, it's 22%, which you think,
Mm-hmm.
well, that's a small amount. But considering 61% of his income was
Yep.
Steam, which
Yep.
is huge, and, you know, everyone expects and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Stadia Pro is
Yep.
the second highest, in fact, if you combine it with just Stadia overall, that
Yeah.
takes you to about 25%.
Yep.
So a quarter of their income was Stadia.
Yep.
Like,
Look at
that is just insane.
That's amazing. And I think even if you add Switch, Itch, GOG, and like everything, I think if you add up whatever else type of income, it doesn't even come up to what Stadia is to it. So
No,
that
it's
is
15%. Like, the rest is about
Yeah.
15%. So, you know, you've got, you know, 60% Steam, you've got 25%, you know, so 85% of it is just Stadia and Steam. And then the rest of them are just, you know, the remaining 15%. And that is just knucking futs.
That's fun. Yeah, it is. Exactly. You took the words right out of my knucking futs mouth. So they got to actually, as Foremost got to chat with Yves a little bit here, follow up on it, and so some of the questions
Foremost
they
is a Chad as well, so, you know, give him a follow.
How much has the Stadia Pro benefited 100 days from both platform perspective, as well as how has your game on Pro helped revenue? And then, you know, basically Yves is saying in here, like, without the Stadia Maker program, 100 days wouldn't exist. And we interviewed Yves on the show here now. It's been several months ago, end of last year, early this year. And, you know, he had nothing but praise for Google and for Stadia, and mentioned on there as well, too, is like, without the funding from Google, the game wouldn't be like as we know it, or the game wouldn't exist at all. You know, it's just phenomenal. And I'm not going to go through every question that they mention here. The big takeaway from this whole article is about Stadia Pro and the stabilization of income for indie developers. And, you know, that's something every time that we talk with, you know, developers here about being on Stadia Pro, and if they're not familiar with it, you know, kind of just say, hey, here's the information on it, point them to Yves' tweet here. I think that, like, this graphic
Yves' tweet is a really nice, like, you know, it's a beacon for all, you know, indie developers that actually, you know, people, you know, make all these memes about Stadia. Well, here you go. Here's some raw numbers, which you don't often get from you know, Stadia, which is a bit of a shame. But this is some hard raw numbers from a developer about real money. It's not about, you know, oh yeah, well, we got exposure and, you know, this, that, and the other. This many people bought the game, download. No, this is hard pounds and pence and dollars and whatever you Canadians have, monopoly money. It's saying what they actually got, and it's tangible, and it's really hard hitting. I think it's just
it's very powerful. This is very powerful, and so glad to see it. So more great news from Yves, and nothing but praise. We've also saw that there was a new update to the Stadia app, and Jack broke it down here on the APK findings. We just saw an update not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and it looks like in here, so 4.16, and previously a couple of weeks ago, 4.13. There's more strings about the gamepad customization, tweaks for contacting Stadia from the app, so making it easier. And it said there's something here. It said it looks like there could be some new UI style used somewhere in the app in the form of hero cards. So it says we're not sure that these will be used. So again, anything that's found in here is all speculation. It's nothing is 100% confirmed all the time. but there's strings in here for
Project
hero
Hailstorm.
cards. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I had, you know what? So speaking of Project Hailstorm, that was something that was found in one of the APK breakdowns. And I saw the other day someone complaining about, well, Google mentioned Project Hailstorm and nothing ever came out of
They
it. And I
never
said,
mentioned it.
they never mentioned it at all. It was
Yeah.
from an APK. No, they posted it on the blog. And I, you know what? I didn't even, you know what? If you want to believe that, you go right ahead. They didn't.
That's bull.
Nobody,
That's bull.
yeah.
I was going to say, yeah. That never, because I remember well, I was going to say shitstorm, but you know, that's kind of, I think, but yeah, I remember when Project Hailstorm and everyone was speculating. I got caught up in it as well, you know, not going to lie. But Google never commented on it.
Yeah,
ever.
nothing.
And people
Nothing,
were watching,
yeah.
you know, I was watching for it. So when you said it was on the blog, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, it wasn't. It's just someone's got their information crossed, and you know, this is how things happen where misinformation gets spread. One person says it, and then they take it as fact, and they're like, oh, you know, here we go. So regardless, so again, this is all, you know, stuff that may come to fruition or not. And there's the hero card, so it's, you know, a large image, one or more buttons of text, example of the hero card here. So who knows what that means? It might not mean anything at all, but it was something that they found in the APK, hints of that. And again, there's something else here too that
this one I'm a bit more excited about.
Yes, this is, and again, don't take this as being fact that it's coming, but they're starting to see strings for the AV1 codec. And this is a Google developed codec that's royalty free. And for this, and it offers a higher fidelity, if I'm not mistaken, than the other current codecs on there. But like we said, that you know, with this, don't take this with a grain of salt. There's even another new string that adds the new data rate of, I guess, using this AV1 codec to 14.4 gigs an hour. Jack is saying that, you know, this could be related to a higher quality AV1 stream, or it could be related to a higher resolution. The 1440p strings have been mentioned in the app for a while now.
Yeah.
14.4
2K HDR.
Yep. 14.4 gig an hour is higher than the 12.6 currently listed for 1080p. So this would be great. I mean, obviously there's something going on in the background and we can just speculate to it. And of course, you know, Google's not going to comment on it unless it's coming to fruition. You know, like if this comes, then we're going to see a blog post about this more like, or a dev post or something like that. But, you know, this is good news. It's potential of what's to come. And yeah, it's shout out to Jack for breaking that down and looking for these wee little tidbits of information that the Stadia community so rightfully loves.
Yeah.
Speaking on developer interviews, our friends over at Stadia Source spoke with Petrichor, the team behind Battle Billiards. They spoke with Christina, who's the lead artist over there, working on Battle Billiards. Now, for those that might not remember, or just as a refresher, Battle Billiards was one of the winners from the Stadia Play Anywhere Game Jam that took place a little over a year ago. So as part of winning that game, or the game jam there, they were, you know, get funding to help develop the game. And in this interview here, we get a little bit of background information on Christina and what she does at the studio. There was even, I think there was even like a little demo of the game that they put out, or like, you know, like a little mini trial of Battle Billiards. And again, this looks like a perfect Stadia Pro game. So they're asking, you know, a little bit about the game, is saying there's no, like, you can play it I don't know exactly how many players at one time. I know it shows 2 there. What's interesting is there's no turn order. So you both go at it at once. So it's up 2 players here, and the
So
one.
imagine it like have you ever like played what's it called? Like a Flick 'em Up or any of those like board games.
Yeah, okay, right, yeah.
So you basically got one tactic. In fact, golf with your friends is a really good way to
Exactly.
When I played with Adam, they hated me. My goal wasn't to get in the hole. My goal was to make sure nobody else got in there. They eventually turned off the collisions because, that did pretty well. But basically, you're both all trying to hit the balls at the same time. And you get that madness of, you about to hit a ball in and somebody's ball, your balls, and it's just great when your balls are just smashing into each other. It's just, it's a right laugh,
Yeah, so definitely you're going to want to take your hands out of your pocket when you're playing this game. You're going to be smashing balls all over the place, and especially your opponents as well. So, one of the questions that I believe this was it Lee who spoke with them? Yeah, Lee over there at Stadia Source. He says, "Is this game still on track for Stadia this year?" And Christina says, "Yes, and we're excited for people to start playing it soon." So we don't have a specific release date, but soon. I would, if I'm going to speculate, I would probably say in the next maybe 2 to 3 months, right? Yeah, 2 to 3 months. I think so, something like that.
I think it'll probably release by about 31st of December. That would be my guess. So we'll see who's right.
Oh yeah, we'll see. We'll see who's right. And so then Lee goes on to talk with Christina about like her experience at the Game Jam, and again the funding support from Stadia. So definitely check it out.
You're looking forward to this game. Is this one that
you're? Yeah, this will be fun. It's a fun little game, even if it's not a
just
Stadia.
Jumped about 3 octaves there. Sure, yeah,
sure. Hey, Mickey.
Yeah,
I'll definitely play this. I'll, even if it's not a Stadia Pro game, I'd buy it. I'm sure it would probably be somewhere between $10 to $20 Canadian, something like that, if it wasn't Stadia Pro. So, I would definitely buy it.
I'm just looking forward to more couch co-op games because couch co-op is, I think that's going to be where Stadia is going to be really strong, because imagine just going over someone's house, bringing your phone and just connect your phone up to their screen and just playing a Stadia game, or Chromecast or whatever. It's just it's great.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I guess Lee was asking here too about is there any Stadia specific features, and Christina couldn't comment on it at the moment. So hopefully it'll include some of our favorite features. So definitely check it out. I'll get the link in the description. I did a boo-boo and forgot to add the links to the stuff we were talking about. But I'll get that added definitely after the show here. So keep your eyes peeled for that and your hands out of your pocket and on your stick. So moving along here, Jack, or the Stadia Dosage, we'll say here. I don't want to just assume that it's Jack here. Put together a post there of a Stadia community calendar. And this is a great reference where people can come and look and check to see, what's going on. Like, these are just general things that people are streaming that have set schedules. So, we can see Cloudy Thoughts, Shades of Purple, Stadium Connect North, and this is in.
Oh wow, that sounds like a really cool show.
Yeah, listed in Pacific time there, but I'm sure you can change the stuff there, and so check it out. And if you'd like to get your stream or content show added, there's a button here, stadiadosage.com, and you'll be able to find it. And again, I will add that also to the description here. So right now,
and one thing to be aware of as well is you can subscribe to it because it's a Google Calendar. There's actually a button in the bottom right corner, and you can click Add to Google Calendar to get it put into your Gmail calendar, so you get reminders, and you can just look at your own calendar. You don't have to go onto their website. You just get that calendar fed straight to your calendar, so you can keep an eye on it there. So that's really nice little feature they've done.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'm trying to get this other thing set up here. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, so we've got this 150%. Okay, so a keen Stadia community member. I think I first saw it where Death Alive had posted a link to this tweet on Discord early in the morning the other day. And then other people started discovering it and talking about it. And for whatever reason, I don't even know who this person is. JoJo. She has me blocked. She's got me blocked. I don't know for whatever reason, but I'm looking at it through, and that's why you saw that little faux pas or boo boo on.
So she doesn't have you blocked. You have to be following her to see her tweets. So
well,
actually,
I'm okay.
Because you're following her on this account, so you can see.
Yeah, on the Stadium Connect North account. Yeah, I'm following to see her here. So it looks like JoJo here does PR, media, digital marketing. Kind of just a little bit of this and that. We can see her hashtags there: PR, Twitter, marketing, Twitter, and she's got a tweet here that says some professional news. Spearheading the social presence game for this Google product, and we can see is Juicy Stadia down here, and I'll click on the pictures, until the end of the month, APAC wide. Cloud gaming with Google Stadia is the theme for the rest of May. So this is the Asia Pacific region, and what we're seeing here is JoJo was sent by Google. White Stadia controller, black Stadia controller. The swag. There's the shirt, the button, the lanyard, stickers, the backpack, all that cool stuff. The water bottle, and then this is her. I guess this was taken. She posted this on Instagram or one of those other newfangled applications that the youngins like to share their photos on. And of course, saying she's at the Google HK office, so Hong Kong office, right? I mean, that's what I'm taking it for here, and is tagging Stadia and made by Google. So does this mean that Stadia is expanding to that particular region soonish? I don't know. I mean
we can definitely speculate.
Yeah, we could definitely speculate on this. But why would Google send this the controllers, the swag, all this stuff for JoJo to make a social presence in, so if we look at here, APAC region, right?
I mean, that's Asia. That's
right,
Pacific Asia.
Yeah. So if we look at here, Pacific Asia, and so we're looking at the region here. So, and it was tagged in Hong Kong office of Google.
Any of these countries, is Stadia currently in them? I don't think it is released in any of these.
Not that I'm aware. Not in China, not in South Korea, nor Japan. No.
I'm saying that tongue in cheek because it's not.
Right.
It's not released in any of these countries currently. So the fact, and again, this is all speculation.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's
right.
The fact that that she's mentioned APAC region, then I would find it very hard to believe that it's not coming based on it's crazy.
I mean, we've had people in the community turn up, bits of information of I don't know, ratings and licenses in Brazil and other places. We saw stuff about India and the telcos and things like that. So
a lot of those I don't put much weight into because, in all honesty, I'm normally more of the prefer to be safe than sorry, and I'm an optimistic cynic, but in this case, I find it hard to overlook.
Right? Yeah, because Oh, here I go back here. So like, she goes here, professional news, Google center this stuff to spearhead the social presence. So take it as you may, for it is. To me, this shows that in the near future, at some point, it's coming to that Stadia is coming to that particular region. Um, I would love
To be
to see
rad,
it.
like
Yeah.
that's a really big audience.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard one to get into because there's a lot of countries in that region have restrictions.
Yes.
But if you look at the number of people in that region,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the most populous regions of the world.
Yeah.
And you've got countries in there that tend to they have big gaming population as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Mm-hmm.
have the ones that maybe can't. They're not some of the most affluent countries as well.
Right.
So Stadia for them would be fantastic because they've got good internet in those regions.
Mm-hmm.
Internet cafes and stuff are very popular
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of this region as well. So
Yep.
it really is a great market to break into, and if you can break into it and really hit it home there, then you've got
Mm-hmm.
yourself a massive audience.
So Vivi, just for the fun of it here, if you were to speculate or guess, and just a reminder, anybody watching, none of this is confirmed. We don't know anything. We're just, these are based upon our own initial thoughts. What countries would you might say would be more likely to get Stadia, I guess, first in this region? Like, what would you say?
I mean, if I was, I'll approach it from a slightly different angle.
Okay.
If I were to want to launch in this region, the countries I would want to hit first, and I think would be the ones that would be the easiest to break into,
Mm-hmm.
would be
Mm-hmm.
India.
Yeah.
I think India is just a treasure trove for this market.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Japan, I actually don't think would be too receptive. Whilst I would probably try to get
Okay.
into there, they're going to be a
Mm-hmm.
harder market to break into.
Okay.
I think if you're looking then at like Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, again, I think those are
Mm-hmm.
some good areas to go into.
Mm-hmm.
Australia, I think you're going to be okay, but you're not going to do great. I think
Right.
it's just it's going to be the same as most of the other regions of the world. Now, China is going to be the hardest to break into.
Yes.
Because they do have a lot of regulations. So
Mm-hmm.
if they manage to get into China, there's a huge audience there.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
if I was to speculate on the ones that I think they may break into first, I would think they'd be focusing on India, Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, that sort of zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With a secondary view of Japan and Australia and
Yes.
China, I would be skeptical about their likelihood of getting in there fully.
I think I agree with you there. I think like China's going to be the least likely. It would be super awesome if they did, but like you mentioned, with all the regulations and rules and laws that they have to follow, it's difficult. Traditionally, when you see console launches, they don't launch in Japan until years later, just because of those rules and regulations
And
that
in terms
China
of
has.
launching games out there, you have to have a company sponsor your game. So, like something like Tencent is the reason Tencent own so many, a small portion of loads of different companies is because to launch out there, they have to be partially owned. I believe there's something around those laws. I'm not an expert,
Right.
so somebody probably can correct me a little bit better. But there is something to do with Chinese ownership, and that would be a limiting factor for there. Whereas in India, I just think it will take off like wildfire. If you can really crack that market, it's just going to go fantastic. So my thoughts and my hope is that actually it's going to India, and that's going to really sort of give Stadia a boost.
Yeah, I think the next two biggest, most likely, would be India and Brazil. If they can launch in those areas, that would be great, because those are, as we mentioned, and we've seen from reports, those are really big markets where traditional hardware itself is super expensive there, and just launching it in these markets would be fantastic. So time will tell. Again, this is just a tweet that was discovered, and who knows what it means. But if I'm looking at it and saying, okay, why would Google be sending this particular person's Stadia stuff and to help spread the social presence of this product in that region? There's only going to be one reason why. So hopefully sooner than later, but it's something to keep an eye out for. And just another little bit of new, like, not necessarily news, but like a nugget of information that's pointing to country expansions.
Yeah,
for sure. Okie dokie. So let's get that naughtiness off the screen here. And
a little bit of naughtiness on your screen.
Yeah, it's a little bit of naughty. So let's see here. And our last bit of little community news, and then we'll go ahead and get to the giveaway. Let's make sure.
Building the suspension.
I don't want to open
oh my God.
the wrong window, and then you see something that you shouldn't be seeing.
Have you got your nudes up on the screen again?
So I just wanted to give a shout out to XDA and the people over there for, recently here we've seen quite a few of positive Stadia articles from them. Richard is on the team there, and just reporting the information, not putting any type of a spin on it as well. No little, I don't want to, continue without disabling. Just reporting it here and not throwing any little jabs or anything at it. So you can see, here's the outright games, stuff that they've posted here. They also have, windows and other things like that. But just, a shout out to the folks over at XDA for, their positive Stadia articles. And it's a great source to get some unbiased information on Stadia, because sometimes some sites will say, make up things like, oh well, Google's burying Stadia because they redesigned the store, like those hot catch lines here. And with these guys here and gals, we don't see any of that stuff there. It's just reporting the information. So just wanted to mention that, and a big shout out to them over there.
Yeah, and I mean, I just really love that XDA have started to give some proper coverage to the Stadia.
Mm-hmm.
And it's some positive news, and it's really nice to see. And they did an article a little while back, and it got some really good attention from the community. And I think they've realized that. So because this second article in a very short period of time, is fantastic. And this and Rika, who's the person who wrote it's Rika666, has been playing Stadia. So today he actually was streaming Stadia. He put it up on his YouTube channel, and he even was talking about playing Outriders on Stadia. So it's just pretty cool that he wrote the article, got a lot of positive feedback, and he's like, well, actually I'm gonna let's give it the old college try. And he started streaming it, and I think he retweeted you at one point. Why did he do that?
No, exactly. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Right. No, I think it's just really cool, and this is one that actually I even pinged you about to say I think I mentioned it today, because it's rad to get some good coverage from XDA is not just a small outlet either. It's fairly big in the in the dev world. So I think it's really pretty bloody cool.
Yeah, it's awesome there. So and we can see, I've seen a lot of new faces in the Stadia community over the last couple of months. So it's great to see the community growing as well. It's just fantastic. So happy to hear, and kudos to Richard and the crew over there for their amazing coverage on Stadia. Hopefully more to come in the near future. So that brings us to our point in the show here. Let's see. Do we have? There we go. Ooh, the Stadium Connect
Ooh.
North giveaway. So we've been advertising all the show here. The bot's been doing the work for us here, letting us know we're giving away Adventure Time on Stadia to one lucky person. Hashtag Adventure Time. So if you haven't already typed that in and got your name into the raffle, now's your chance to do so. And Paul saying, "Stop lying, John. You know there's only 5 of us." Yeah, that's, the number changes. I mean, depending whoever
It's 12.
posts.
It's
Yeah,
always been
12.
12.
So, anyways, here we're gonna go ahead as we're wrapping up today's show. We're going to give away Adventure Time here, and again, a big thank you to everyone in the chat. If you enjoyed today's show, and the flame broiled King of England, Vivi himself. Look at that.
Oh.
He's even holding a copy of the game in his hands here.
I am, and I would like to note this time that, and I'm just sorry, I've got a pre-prepared statement. I officially and legally recognize that I am not the owner of this copy of the game. This copy of the game is going to be given out in accordance with the rules that were set forth before, and any claims that I try to make over this game are not legitimate, and the winner of this prize will get the game and not myself. I was not obliged to say that in any way by my lawyers, but I felt like saying it just sporadically.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Righty. So we're going to go ahead and give away a copy of the game here. I see lots of people have entered here, and good luck to everybody. So fingers crossed, toes crossed. Here we go. I'm hitting the button that says giveaway. So the bot's going to randomly choose from the chat here. Here we go. Rouster. So Rouster, congratulations. You have won a copy of, oh, look at that. Adventure Time. Look at the box there. Look at that.
So I'm just gonna put it into the
shrinking.
Take it into the old box. Let's just ship this off to you.
There we go.
Down it comes here.
Yep. So congratulations, and I see Rouser has responded in the chat there. Go ahead and send me a message on Discord, Twitter, or email, and then I will get you my info there. The bot's gonna slap it in. Congratulations. Thank you so much. And again, if you enjoyed today's show, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Time to time, we do giveaways here. And so I understand some might be disappointed that you didn't win today, but you know what? There's always going to be more chances to win fantastic and great games on Stadia. So with that, we're going to come to a close here. So Vivi, is there any particular plans that you have for this weekend as we head out?
Tomorrow, I am going to start off the day by playing some City Skyline, because that game is going to be addictive, and then play some board games. And after that, I'm going to buy some clothes for a holiday that I'm going on and eating burgers. What about you?
Nice. Well, tomorrow I'm going to meet up with a friend, Ian, who lives in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So a little bit west here of Ontario.
Isn't that where Metal Wolf lives?
Saskatoon. Yes, I believe so. So Ian's over here in Ontario, in Toronto, doing a little bit of vacationing. And I first met Ian through the Best Buy Canada blog. He's been a longtime follower and fan of the blog. And over the years, boy, it's got to be 6 or 7 years now, we've talked back and forth. And now he's in the area there. So going to head on over, have a little bite to eat with Ian tomorrow, catch up on some things, play some, some games and whatnot, and just relax. And the rest of the weekend, since Monday's off too, maybe I'll stream on Monday. I've got Overcooked, all you can eat. So I would love to do a stream with that. So there's anybody interested on Monday that would like to stream alongside me, let me know. And other than that, just relax and enjoy the weekend.
Nice.
So,
well, do you know, if Ian's not wearing like a blue shirt, a hat, and a bow tie when you meet up with him, I've got to be super disappointed because, like, I mean, I know Ian because obviously he's on your Discord, and like his picture, that's exactly how I imagine him.
Yeah.
So if you don't, if he doesn't look exactly like that, you know, the bow tie, the hat, the blue shirt, it's just going to be the most disappointing thing ever.
Yeah. Say, Ian, after all these years, been waiting to meet you in person, and now, you know, you don't look, you look different than your picture.
Yeah.
And Ian's been going around town. He did different tweets, and he's tagging. He's went to Best Buy, and he said, if I ask for Four Scars Gaming at Best Buy, will he magically appear? You know, so just these funny things. But, yeah, Ian's a good guy. I'm looking forward to chatting with him tomorrow. And
Ian, if you're watching, you've got to get that outfit now. If you don't own it, like it's got to happen.
Definitely. Alrighty, so with that, we are gonna say goodbye again. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Vivi, for helping co-host. I really do appreciate it. And I think with that, we'll be a little ta-ta for now. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you all again real soon. Bye-bye.
Love you.